Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the B2B Outbound Marketing and Sales Automation Tools. As you know, guys, by now, we're really working really hard to find the best automation tools out there that can make your life easier. Not to fully spam everybody, but actually to utilize it to save some of your time. And guess what? Today, we actually have David Inman. He's actually the COO from Kennected, and I'm so excited to have him on board because he really has some interesting tool to share with us. David, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Excited to be here. Glad we could finally make it happen.
Yeah, we did several dry runs, and if you didn't show up today, I was officially giving up. I'm like, David, too busy, probably chasing clients as well. So that is it. So we usually start the show, but actually giving you the chance to introduce yourself. I mean, who is David and how do you got to be the CEO of Kennected?
Yeah, so a long story short, I know everybody's got a long story about their background. I love business and sales. It's always been just a part of my DNA since having a lemonade stand as a kid. I went to school for entrepreneurship. And then I grew up in a family that didn't have a whole lot. I mean, amazing family, oldest of 7 kids. My dad was an artist. There's not a whole lot of money inside of it, so we lived very cheaply our whole lives. And I quickly figured out that sales is a way to be able to control that outcome. And so I fell in love with just the career. So I've done everything from retail, door-to-door, telemarketing, and then outside consulting for larger companies. And eventually I ended up coming to this point. I was reading a book, which is probably one of my larger strengths and weaknesses. I read quite a bit. And this particular book made me feel patriotic. So I quit my job, which was an amazing job. I love them. There's still a great relationship there, but I quit my job and pulled my wife, and we joined the Air Force. So I ended up spending 4 years working in the Air Force in psychology, a very interesting career there. And while there, I missed the rush of business, of building something. So I ended up building 2 companies, co-founded 2 different companies at that point. One was more of a real estate fund, investment fund. And then the other was an online art training company. We grew it to about 35,000 students, just fell in love with that growth mindset and everything we were able to do there. Once I was finished with the military, ended up going and working with a company called Sandler Training. They are sales and sales management training. And so I was one of their coaches and consultants that eventually led to me becoming a customer of Kennected when they were a brand new company. I was one of their early customers, fell in love with the technology. It did incredible things for us over at Sandler where I was working. And so ended up getting into conversation with Devin, our CEO and the founder here, one of the founders. And he invited me on to come help grow the sales team. So from there, we've had an incredible growth, a ton of fun, and it ended up where I ended up being needed in the COO role. And so that's where I am now.
Nice. It falls in the category of digital entrepreneurs, David. I mean, starting multiple companies. And at the end of the day, you're going to put it in front of the bracket. It's a different idea with a different target audience. But when you know that you have the good product, then it's marketing and sales and how you can utilize tools. But I love the fact that you're actually a consumer of your current employer, because, you know, you try the tool, you like it, and then you're like, you know what, I can actually utilize this in our business. And then like, I can even come into the business and even further increase it. Yeah.
And it's funny because early on when, one of the sales reps here actually reached out to me and tried to sell me. And I said, no, that's spam. Like that's not the type of thing I do. That's not, Devin eventually convinced me to have a conversation with him. And I told him, I said, dude, I know what I'm doing. Like I train on sales technology, right? This is my thing.
The process, the frameworks, the steps.
Yeah. I know that this isn't the type of technology I want to use or that I'm going to encourage anyone I train to use. But I'll come and I'll sit down with you, and if you convince me I'm wrong, I'll film a video and say it. So an hour after meeting with Devin, we filmed a video saying I was wrong, that it's great technology, and I've been a customer ever since. I still actively use it. It's just great technology.
Nice. And while we're talking about the technology, David, nowadays in 21st century, there are so many tools, especially automation, that are on a different technology. And if you ask me, it's even starting to get saturated, the B2B world. And I was curious, the Kennected, how is it actually positioned on the market?
Yeah, I think I agree that some of the market's getting saturated, but some of the market's also just opening up with the new technology that's coming out that's really exciting. I mean, you're obviously familiar with some of the new capabilities that AI is bringing.
Yeah.
So I mean, everything is changing, right? So there's a portion that's saturated, there's a portion that's just new opportunity, and so that's really where we play. We came into our industry when it was brand new; nobody else was really doing it at the time, and so we got to trailblaze and create something new. And now we're doing that again with we just transitioned or grew from Kennected to Kennected Reach is our new software that we just rolled out to our customers about a month ago. So this is brand new for us. And that is only the next stage. We've got new advancements coming just a few months down the road. So there's so much opportunity to improve, and we are fully embracing that.
Yeah, and I mean, we did probably 30 plus interviews with marketing and sales automation so far. And I find it interesting that always people find a niche within the whole ecosystem, whether we're more database driven companies, so we focus more on finding the right information, or we even had few companies that specialize into the, using AI to create conversation starters in the outreach process. And now with the chat GPT, I'm sure that everybody are jumping on the AI, whether it's for creating conversation starters. When even I tried with the chat GPT, I was like, I'm trying to reach out to a consultant in the US. Tell me what kind of pain points and what kind of conversation starters I can start. And it did some good results when it comes. And I was like, the future is definitely toward there. And thank God we're not in the technology. As a service company, we build our services on top of the technologies. But when it comes to being the leading man of a tech company, it's really changing very fast.
Yeah, it is. So the industry that we call ourselves, right? Technically, we're a SaaS company.
Yeah.
But what we have started calling ourselves is more of a GaaS company, GaaS, which is growth as a service. And that is all just what can we do to be able to help people grow? Just exponential growth for our customers. So that's always what we're looking for.
I saw the term on your website, Kennected, on the top. It says GaaS, growth as a service. I had to Google it before the meeting. I was like, okay, that's an interesting angle. So instead of SaaS, it's like on top of the technology, what additional service can be offered in order to get to the growth. That's actually a good, smart marketing move.
And, thank you.
And David, you've mentioned about the Kennected Reach. That's like an extended version of the Kennected platform.
Yeah, it's the next version. So if you look at the history of what Kennected was, we started off as a Chrome extension. And so just something we downloaded onto Chrome. It was buggy and a little slow, but it did amazing things compared to what was available on the market at the time. We were able to go from a Chrome extension to the cloud-based. So Cloud Connect is what we've used for the last two and a half, maybe going on 3 years now. And it was excellent. It was ahead of its time. It worked extremely well for our customers. And you just got to keep innovating. So our next version was thinking, how can we branch out from just being a LinkedIn technology and really become a sales enablement technology, right? How can we be beginning to end of the sales process for somebody? And I'm not talking about replacing CRMs. I think CRMs are still extremely valuable. We're a very happy HubSpot customer and partner, right? So nothing against CRMs, but how can we work with CRMs to improve prospecting? Because prospecting is where people have been struggling for so long. So Kennected Reach is the beginning of making that happen for us. So Kennected Reach makes it so that now you're not only being able to more effectively reach out to people through LinkedIn and collect that data and then use that data in your CRM, but now it is a much smarter sequence that you can set up that makes it so you can also create task-based reminders, you can have emails, and then we are on the very edge. We're hoping within the next really just 3 to 4 weeks, we'll also be able to have text, SMS, as well as call, so that you can have all of this into one ecosystem.
Nice. So you're actually adding additional sales channels. So omni-channel outreach from multiple angles. You're trying to get to the prospects.
Correct.
Dude, that sounds amazing, and I would really love for you to show us how does the new tool look. You call it now Connected Reach, right?
Yep, Connected Reach.
So if you could just walk us through like a short demo on what our target audience, our listener, who are high ticket service providers and business owners and salespeople, could actually, come to your platform and start utilizing it for their businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. You want me to share my screen?
Yeah, feel free.
Perfect. So this is Connected Reach, right? So this is on the home page. The major part, I'll just show a couple big parts. All right. So the big thing is being able to set up your campaigns. So you can see I've got one. Again, this is new technology, so I only have one campaign running right now. This particular campaign is because we've got, so our home office where I'm located right now is in Indianapolis. We have another office over in Utah. And so I go out there periodically, and I'm wanting to grow my network with just high-level professionals out there. So that's what this particular campaign is built for. All right, so I'll show you what this looks like. And this is a smart campaign. I'll explain what that means. But you can see with this, I've got a 58% acceptance rate, a 21% response rate. This was really built to build the connections and less the conversations. Just with my work schedule, I don't have a ton of time for those conversations, but I want to make sure I have the connections built out for when I do have time to go and visit. So that's why the focus was here on the accepted. So when you look at what this looks like, and if you're building your own campaign, you jump in, you give it a simple name. There's nothing fancy that you have to do there. And then you go and you find your search, right? That search is going to be built typically through LinkedIn. That's going to be the starting place, but it doesn't need to be. That search can also come from if you've got a data cohort that you're using, if you've got data inside your CRM that you're pulling over, wherever that data is coming from, you just throw that into here. And then once you have that done, you can go and you can build a sequence. Now you can see mine is a very simple sequence, right? I've got the lead source, which is LinkedIn. It sends a connection request, and then if connected, then 3 hours later, it shoots them this message. So just thanks for connecting. I visit our Orem office once or twice a month. I'd love to grab lunch sometime, right? Very, very simple message that's also wildly effective. I've had quite a few cool lunches from this. Now, if you are actively prospecting, you have time for conversations, you get to build this out to do some incredible things. So let me show you just what that can look like, all right? I'm going to exit out of this so I don't end up messing up my sequence that's actively running.
That's true.
But let me go and I'll create, we'll do a smart sequence again, and I'll just name this test so that I don't get confused later. And then here you can have, so we'll have our lead source, and let's assume that we are working from LinkedIn again, right? So we're going to go and we're going to send that lead a connection request. My OCD makes it so that I have to have that a straight line. So we're going to go send a connection request. Then we're going to say, and this is where it gets really cool because you can do conditions on here. So you can say if they're connected. So if they end up saying yes, let's connect. Then what I'm going to do next is shoot them a message. Yeah. Now, if they don't connect, I'm going to go and shoot them an in-mail, right? Because an in-mail is something that you can do even if you don't have that connection built. And then I can get really fancy on here, right? And I can include an email. So, which I haven't connected that part yet. You'll have to forgive me on that. But I can go and I can send an email, and then I can say, you know what? If they have a work email, then do this specific thing. And then if they open that email, then I want to shoot this specific message. You can get very, very specific. And then at the end, you can come and you can even set up A/B tests to see, well, what messaging actually works best for this audience and what is going to convert the best. So you can obviously, you can get very...
also, so you have, if it's open profile, because the emails, you can, if it's an open profile, you can send them without spending the 30 to 50 ones that you have in the Sales Navigator. So it gives you the option to first check. If it's free, then send an email. If it's not, then send an actual email, which is actually the other way around to go through the lead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if they have an open profile and you don't have to use an in-mail credit, then perfect. I'm going to go send them an in-mail. And then if not, then I'm going to go do something else, right?
Yeah,
you can
start using
webhooks. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So you can get as advanced or as simple as you want on this. I've seen some really, really cool sequences. The main thing is that you have control over it and that it gets to be very, very human, right? This is no longer the basic just spam people. This is a very if you were doing this manually, this is how you would want it done, and this is how they would want to be communicated with as well.
In the conditions, do you also have delays?
Yes, yeah. With every one of those steps, you decide the delay. So it can be any number of hours or days, and for our customers, we've got recommendations based off of hundreds of thousands of campaigns that have been running. But that's also something that's pretty easy to test. The other nice thing, and I won't go too in depth just for the sake of time, but after you build those connections and start conversations, this keeps all of that organized for you, right? So you've got everybody that you've connected with, you've got their information, you've got their contact information. And then even if it didn't pull in the contact information because maybe they don't have their work email listed, then we have partnerships that give us access to over 640 million data records that you can go and you can click enrich and it will pull in that data for you, right? So now that you have that connection, you now have technically on LinkedIn, once somebody connects with you, it's considered a legal opt-in, where they've given you permission to reach out to them. So you can just go and you can enrich, and now you can email them or you can call them, you can text them. Text gets a little bit tricky depending on state and laws, but it makes it so you can have a full prospecting sequence built however is going to work best for you and your prospects.
I see. And this acts like a mini CRM for you because you have in one place all the people that have connected and are they in an active campaign or not. And I saw the button push to CRM. When you push them to the actual CRM, whether it's a HubSpot or Salesforce or whatever CRM they are using it. And so in addition, so from organizational data, I really loved it. And that means that you have external API when you need data enrichment, either with a phone number, with the emails. Yeah, you had a good point. It's really easy to find nowadays. But with the direct phones, because you've announced something that in the future you also want to add text if possible, finding a mobile phone of a person was always a struggle for us. So you've kind of integrated that directly into your solution, David.
Yep, exactly. And it just keeps it simple, right? One of our taglines is simplifying opportunity. And so that is where we're driving, right? How can we make prospecting and finding additional opportunity more simple for our customers? And so everything from the campaigns, the prospect tab, which is, like you said, a very simplified CRM. Right? If you're not wanting to pay for a CRM right now, this can be a good alternative. We do recommend as somebody grows to be able to get a HubSpot or a Salesforce, something with more ability than ours has as far as CRMs. But it also brings you into Inbox, where you can organize not only your LinkedIn messages, but your email. Right? And that's one of the things we realized. One of the reasons we did this is our customers were running into an issue where they would send somebody a LinkedIn message and have a conversation there. But then in their CRM, they would send an email and have a conversation, and they weren't always matching up. And sometimes it would be awkward trying to explain why you messaged them twice. And so this organizes both in one. So you can see the emails you're sending and the LinkedIn messages, and eventually, once we add SMS, you'll have that here as well, so that you have all your communication in one area, and it just makes it a cleaner conversation, a better experience for the prospect as well.
I see. You do have a point that sometimes at BSB we try LinkedIn and email in parallel as two outreach channels. And in most of the cases, even on a copywriting level, when we create the conversation starters, we try to align between the two channels. So it's like after LinkedIn, when you send an email, it's like I tried to reach out on LinkedIn, but I couldn't reach out. So I thought maybe you're not checking the platform regularly. So I'm sending you an email. Because if you put two parallel campaigns, if someone gets both, it's going to be weird. They're like, why? I'm part of an automation, and nobody wants to be an automation. Everybody wants to talk with human.
Exactly. Yeah, we had run into that quite a few times, so did our customers, and it was a good pain point to fix.
I see. And David, here, the Kennected is based on a single LinkedIn profile and a single email account, right?
Correct. Yeah. So when you say a single LinkedIn profile, are you referring to a team, or are you referring to somebody that is trying to have multiple profiles?
I'm referring to at BSB, we have multiple clients that we work for on LinkedIn. So one employee can handle multiple campaigns from different LinkedIn profiles, more as an agency level.
Yeah, so we actually have a decent number of agencies that use our software. And we have it to where it's set up to where you can just see the team. I'll avoid clicking on it just to protect their information, but you can click on it and you can immediately view all of their campaigns connected to their LinkedIn, and you can go and you can help edit or make changes or respond on their behalf. So it is built to be able to work just flawlessly for agencies that are working in that direction.
Nice, because as I saw it as an SDR, it should be perfect. For example, for you, you're saying, well, at this point, I'm building my network. So you set up a sequence that is more of a network. If you need different conversation topics, you can target. And also from one profile, I assume in the campaign part, you can run multiple campaigns, like one for the CEO, one for the CFO, one for the HR. And then you figure different sequencing for the 3 different target audience.
Yep, 100%. We have no limit on campaigns. It also allows people to very quickly see, especially for early on in business, or you're trying to break into new industries, it helps you see results between different prospects, different industries, different geographies.
Yeah.
You can quickly see where you're going to have just better success or lower areas of success. But yeah, to answer your question, it is, if you are a single BDR or a coach or consultant that's working on your own, you have no team, it's easy, right? This is a perfect tool for them. It also tends to be on the lower end of investment compared to most other tools that they're used to using. And then if you're a Fortune 500 company, you've got 1,000 salespeople, or you're an agency working with 500 different customers of yours, it works for them as well. So we did our best, and I think we did a pretty darn good job in making it so that no matter where you are in your sales journey or your company journey, this is going to be a useful tool in helping you with your prospecting and sales.
Nice. So from a sales perspective, you built multiple user persona that are going to use the tool, and you've tried to add features and functionalities around each of it.
Yeah, correct.
And David, while I'm still looking at the software, if you can tell me a bit about the templates or the integrations or the reporting, if you have anything additional to share at that end, because setting up the campaign seemed straightforward. You click a button, you put the filter, and then you play with the variables.
Yeah. So once we jump into reports, and this is one of the areas that we actually expanded on quite a bit from where we used to have this with the Cloud Connect tool. So in here, you control what period you're wanting to look at. You can export results if you're needing to have this in any of your meetings, and it tracks everything. And you can see connections that are sent, LinkedIn messages that are sent over time so that you can compare. I haven't done, again, email. I'm not actively prospecting, which makes this probably not the perfect profile to review on this. Yeah. I'm using this more for just a high level networking, but you get to track any of that in here. The health of your profile, right? How many people are looking at your profile? How many people are engaging with you? This goes into everything. We won't cover all of it in here. That would take quite a while. But yeah, you've got some very extensive reports.
Each date, how many invitations have been sent, and what's the status of each? Nice.
Yep, exactly. And we've got some other cool things around the corner that I won't spoil too much, but eventually, and hopefully this is a soon eventually, we're at the tail end of this, it is going to have some AI capability within it that will allow it to give you recommendations based off of your report. So instead of just seeing data, it will also analyze that data for you and tell you, hey, we recommend reaching out to an audience like this or at this time of the day or anything else based on that data bill to help your process improve.
Nice. That's actually smart. And David, we've mentioned agencies as a way that they can partner with you. Are there any partnership opportunities that Kennected can have in regards to, I don't know, affiliate, reseller, white label maybe? So how is that organized? Absolutely.
So we've got a whole department within Kennected that is devoted to this, that just works with our agencies and our white labels. So we've got a number of, and you can see that little green right there that pops up. You get to see real time what's happening inside of the tools. You know if it's sending out connections, who just connected, but a little bit of distraction there, I apologize. So we've got a number of, especially marketing agencies, that use this as just part of their offering to their customer base. So we're just a normal part of their marketing efforts. They will often come in and white label this so that they can have their own logo on it. But then we also have a number of agencies that are more focused on just reselling. So whether they're packaging other offers with it or not, they will white label, set it up, or sorry, not white label. They will set up an agency so that they can go and sell this and streamline that on their own. So yes, we've got plenty of opportunity and experience in both of those areas that we can help people.
Nice, nice. I mean, I was curious because I know that many people are like, well, I can apply this in my business, or what if I find this tool very interesting and I can start reselling it? And some of them are either affiliate or agency. I mean, I'm looking also for B2B. The logic is that I don't mind having connected logo, because it's not like we want to enter into technology. I would rather just say with the client, you know what, this is the tool that we're using. And then on a monthly period or on a weekly, when we review reports, you can just open Kennected and like, these are all the stats that you've just showed. Someone needs to create rather than just using it from here.
Yeah. We've got essentially 3 different levels. So we've got affiliates, which are more just brand ambassadors, right? They're customers that love us and they make referrals, and so we want to make sure that we say thank you to them. So we've got a couple different setups depending on the customer, but typically it'll be, hey, if you send somebody over, they sign up, we'll give you a free month, right? It's just a thank you for shouting us out. We've got agencies that will just work with us to be resellers, and they are getting this out to their audience. And then we have white labels that are actually taking the software and making it on their brand, their colors, their logo, so that they can fully get up and running with it. And we've got quite a few people in all of those categories.
Nice, David. My last question was that where is the Kennected headed? I mean, you've mentioned something about the AI, and I see a lot of coming soon. So if you can give us some insights in regards to, it's really a competitive industry. Things are changing quite frequently. So I'm sure that 2023 is ahead of us. So in which direction you see Kennected moving further?
Yeah. So obviously there's going to be some things in every company you can't talk about yet, just because it is competitive, right? Yeah. But some of the exciting things that we're being open about right now. One is, like I had mentioned, we're going to be bringing in dialing and texting into the software soon, so that you can have an entire campaign built to where you just log in for the day and you've got your prospecting taken care of. You know exactly what to do and it runs it for you. The next step after that is really bringing in some of the AI capabilities. And that's going to be from everything from analyzing data to be able to help you just make more intelligent decisions about your prospecting efforts and where you're putting that time. The other, though, is also going to help on the messaging. Now, we do not agree with having AI write and send messaging. We don't want people communicating with robots, right? If you are reaching out to somebody, it's important to still be a human. But what we're designing our AI to do is review profiles, review messaging, and then make recommendations. Yep. So our customers will be able to log in and see a recommendation on, hey, based on the audience you're reaching out to, here is our recommended messaging. And then you just go and you make edits to it so that it's really you, and then you send it out. Right? So it's all based on just helping humans be more effective at what humans do. Yeah,
you're actually helping not people to spam other people, but helping save time. So you can just tweak the recommended message and send it, or if you don't have anything to add, but at least you have the option to review it before it being sent.
Yes. Yep. And man, one of the parts I left out, I can't believe I forgot this, because I love this part of our software. We've got video technology in it. So whether you are emailing somebody or LinkedIn messaging, eventually, obviously it'll work with text as well. You can record custom videos that appear personalized that you can send out to groups, or you can make actual personalized videos that you send out to people. But all of that is available in there as well. I just forgot to mention that. Coming around the corner, we're also going to be working on becoming even more omni-channel, right? Right now we work extremely well with LinkedIn, and we have opened it up so that you can also work with different data cohorts or your CRM or wherever you're pulling that data to be able to run your campaigns. But there are other networks out there outside of just LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best, they're the biggest, they're the strongest, but there are other ones that people are seeing success with as well. And so our goal is to be able to make it so that we work with all of those technologies.
Nice, David. Sounds quite exciting. I have to ask you on the behalf of everybody, how people can give it a try. Is there any free trial or some demo that they can look into, or how they can even buy at the end of the day?
Yeah, always happy to answer that question. So if you go to our website, which is just kennected.org, a very easy website to navigate and find, but you get on there and there's two options. You can, if you saw this and you thought, yeah, this is a no-brainer, I'm ready to go, which frankly, there's a decent number of people that fall into that category. So if you see it and you're just like, yes, I need this in my process, you can sign up directly through our website and get started. It is a very fast process. Now we do, after you get going, we'll pull you onto an activation call so that we can just make sure you understand how to use the software. You've got your first campaign running.
Yeah, the onboarding part.
Yeah, we are very focused on making sure that our customers are successful, which is why we've got such a good retention. But if you still have questions about it and you want to learn more, so if you get on our website, there's a video overview that goes into a little bit more detail than what we did. But you can also just request a demo. I've got an incredible team of experts out there that are happy to jump on and just break down the technology for you and figure out if it's actually going to be a good fit for your process.
Nice. So nothing to lose, only to get more clients, hopefully.
Yes. Yep, exactly.
Perfect. Well, David, what we will do is just right below the video, we'll leave a LinkedIn from Kennected, and how people can reach out to you if they wanted to discuss not something personal, of course, but in regards to either partnership on or something on a different level of collaboration. Yeah,
and even, I mean, to open up to a certain degree, I'm running a little wild right now. It's busy, but I love meeting good people. So even if it is, a little bit on the personal level and somebody just wants to ask about background or bounce ideas, I'm somebody that's typically open to that. So the two best ways to get a hold of me, one is LinkedIn. I'm active on LinkedIn.
Obviously.
You'll see me on there all the time. So reach out on LinkedIn. I'm happy to talk on there. And then the second is email, just david@kennected.io. And I may not be as fast at responding, but eventually you've dealt with that, but eventually I do respond.
Yeah, consistency and persuasion should exist. Yeah, well, David, I wanted really to thank you for taking the time and walking us through Kennected. I really hope that people will check out the video, try to see if it's a good fit for them. And of course, hopefully they will reach out or even start with the first month and try how it can work for their businesses. And for everybody out there, I mean, you saw the video, looks attractive. Give it a try. It was kennected.org. And hopefully it will solve a problem, because I know that most of the people, as a business owner, they have multiple aspects and they have to see in order to understand how it can fit in their existing ecosystem rather than building an ecosystem from scratch. So David, thank you very much again for coming on the show.
Absolutely. It's probably worth sharing, and it's probably not the best business move. It's unusual, but we don't force our customers into contracts. So if somebody is a little bit on the edge and you just want to see what this is like, come try it for a month, and if it's not a fit for your process, cancel. We're very easy that way. Our major focus is how can we make this a better experience and help our customers be more successful. And it's worked. We're one of the Inc. 5000, now Inc. 500 fastest growing companies in America, multiple years in a row. And so if we can help you be more successful, we'll make it happen.
You should have started the conversation with that. Inc. 500. No, I'm joking. I know that your goal is not to trick as many people, but actually try to find people who see the value of using the tool. Yep. David, I think we have to finish now. The time is out. I really thank you again for coming on the show, and for everybody out there, we keep searching for good tools to show it to you.
Well, thank you.